Almost overnight, a one-off guest character named Steve Urkel hijacked the entire series, transforming a grounded family drama into a multi-million-dollar sci-fi comedy juggernaut. But behind the infectious laughs, the dance crazes, and the iconic catchphrases lay an explosive backstage war zone. We're talking about bitter cast walkouts, veteran actors reduced to tears in their dressing rooms, children vanishing from the script without a trace, tragic addiction struggles, and intense corporate warfare on the Warner Brothers lot. Today, we are unlocking the archives to break down the 15 biggest untold secrets, backstage battles, and hidden scandals behind Family Matters. From secret audition breakdowns to vanished cast members and blockbuster film legacies, we are dissecting every single detail. Before we enter the Winslow living room, make sure to subscribe to @Kamajaya on YouTube and follow our official Facebook page right now for your weekly masterclass in television history and entertainment archives. Let's head straight onto the lot.
Have a good time. Nice to meet you, Mark.
Hi, Laura. These are for you. Wow!
Secret facts: 15. The Urkel takeover and the cast dressing room rebellion before landing. The role that defined 1990s television, Jaleel White was an 8-year-old child actor who faced devastating rejections in the Hollywood circuit. In 1984, White was originally cast as Rudy Huxtable on The Cosby Show, only for Bill Cosby to change his mind at the final hour and recast the role with a young girl, Keisha Knight Pulliam. The rejection nearly broke the young actor's spirit and put his family in a precarious financial situation. When White auditioned for Family Matters 5 years later, Steve Urkel was written as a minor, one-time guest spot. White borrowed his father's oversized dentist safety glasses, hitched his pants up with suspenders, and delivered a performance that made the live studio audience on stage 5 erupt into non-stop applause.
You're gonna ask for something astronomical. Would you like to go bungee jumping with me?
However, that meteoric rise ignited massive resentment behind the scenes. Veteran actors Reginald VelJohnson and Jo Marie Payton had signed onto the series under the strict contractual guarantee that it would be a grounded ensemble centered on their characters, Carl and Harriet Winslow. When Miller Boyett Productions saw the ratings spike, they immediately pivoted the entire show around Jaleel White. The atmosphere on Stage 5 turned ice cold. During early season tapings, adult cast members refused to speak to White during script table reads, expressing frustration that their dramatic subplots were systematically cut to make room for Urkel's slapstick stunts. In his 2024 memoir Growing Up Urkel, White revealed that during an early episode where he cross-dressed as Myrtle Urkel, adult cast members confronted him in the hallway, calling the performance humiliating and reducing the teenage actor to tears in his dressing room.
It really wasn't that big of a deal to us because we started off with me saying excuse me to anything I bumped over.
Despite the hostile early environment, the cast eventually reconciled, and the immense exposure allowed several stars to build lasting Hollywood wealth. Jaleel White leveraged his iconic role into a prolific voiceover and film career, providing the legendary original voice for the titular character in the animated franchise adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, 1993 to 1996, starring in the blockbuster comedy Big Fat Liar 2002, alongside Frankie Muniz, appearing in Clint Eastwood's acclaimed drama Dreamgirls 2006, and starring opposite Adam Sandler in the critically acclaimed Netflix basketball drama Hustle 2022. Secret Facts 14. The sudden erasure of Judy Winslow, the attic mystery. Jamie Foxworth began modeling and acting at age 5, booking national commercials to help support her family through extreme financial hardship. When she was cast as the youngest Winslow daughter, Judy, in 1989, she was promised a central coming-of-age storyline alongside her on-screen siblings, Eddie and Laura. However, as the Steve Urkel character consumed more screen time starting in Season 2, Judy's lines were drastically slashed to mere one-line responses per episode.
The producers took it as a slap in the face, and unfortunately, it put Jamie in a very difficult position. If this was in today's world.
Behind the scenes, Foxworth's mother and manager engaged in tense negotiations with Miller Boyett Productions and Lorimar executives prior to Season 5, demanding either more screen time or a salary increase reflecting the show's syndication success. The studio's response was cold and immediate. Rather than negotiate, producers fired the 13-year-old actress on the spot. In Season 4, Episode 19, Mama's Wedding, Judy walked upstairs to her bedroom and was never seen or mentioned again. The Winslow parents began referring to having only 2 children, completely erasing her from the fictional universe without an in-universe explanation. The abrupt firing pushed Foxworth family into severe financial ruin and emotional trauma. Unable to secure mainstream acting roles due to intense typecasting, Foxworth struggled with substance abuse and depression throughout her late teens and early 20s. In the early 2000s, desperate to avoid eviction, Foxworth entered the adult film industry under the pseudonym Crave, an agonizing chapter that became a national media scandal when revealed on The Oprah Winfrey Show in 2006. Foxworth turned her life around through rehab, sharing her story on VH1's Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew 2008, and becoming a passionate public advocate for child actor financial reform and mental health support.
Coming down out there. Yep, looks like we're gonna have a white Christmas tomorrow. You have any trouble getting home? Oh, no, not all.
Secret Facts. 13. Jo Marie Payton's resignation and the mid-season recasting. Jo Marie Payton was the literal foundation upon which Family Matters was built. Payton had originated the sharp, quick-witted elevator operator, Harriet Winslow, on the mega-hit ABC series Perfect Strangers, 1986 to 1993, starring Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker. Her guest performance was so beloved by audiences and studio executives that ABC and Miller Boyett developed Family Matters as a direct spin-off, specifically built around her character and comic talents.
I wanted to do something else. So when it was time for me to go, I did like my mother said, when it's time to go home, just take it.
However, as the series progressed through the 1990s, Payton grew increasingly disillusioned with the show's creative devolution. What began as a realistic portrait of a black working-class family had devolved into outlandish sci-fi plots featuring cloning machines, teleportation pads, and time travel. When ABC canceled the series after Season 8 and CBS purchased the broadcast rights for Season 9, Payton pleaded with producers to let her leave. CBS insisted she sign on for a final season, but the working conditions on Stage 5 had become unbearable for her. Payton openly clashed with production over scripts that completely sidelined the adult cast in favor of Jaleel White's multiple alter egos. Halfway through Season 9, unable to tolerate the environment any longer, Payton officially walked out of her contract, leaving after episode 11. The studio recast the role with veteran actress Judy Ann Elder for the remaining 11 episodes without any narrative acknowledgement, a jarring visual change that alienated the remaining fanbase. Payton rebounded and voiced the iconic, hilarious Sugar Mama, Proud in Disney Channel's smash hit animated series The Proud Family 2001 to 2005, and its critically acclaimed Disney Jai revival, The Proud Family Louder and Prouder 2022 present, earning an NAACP Image Award and securing her legacy as a beloved matriarch in animation history.
Wait a minute, Rachel. He's only 9 months old. Are you sure about this?
I was there. He looked right in my face and said, Mama?
Secret Facts 12. Reginald VelJohnson from Die Hard action legend to TV father. Born in Queens, New York, Reginald VelJohnson attended New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, studying classical theater alongside classmates like Martin Scorsese. For over a decade, VelJohnson was a struggling character actor who worked graveyard shifts as an apartment building doorman and retail clerk, while taking tiny uncredited film roles such as a corrections officer in Ivan Reitman's blockbuster Ghostbusters 1984 and an ambulance driver in Crocodile Dundee 1986.
One of the roles, and I said to him, "Me?" And I really did, and I said, "Well, why?" And they said, "Well, because they like your work and they like what they've seen you do."
His life changed in 1988 when director John McTiernan cast him as the Twinkie-munching LAPD Sergeant Al Powell opposite Bruce Willis in the iconic action masterpiece Die Hard 1988. The film grossed over $140 million and became a global phenomenon. When Miller Boyett Productions began casting Family Matters in early 1989, they specifically sought VelJohnson, capitalizing on his beloved cop persona from Die Hard, to play Chicago police officer Carl Winslow. VelJohnson even reprised his role as Al Powell in Die Hard 2 1990, while simultaneously shooting the second season of Family Matters on adjacent soundstages. Despite his early friction regarding the Steve Urkel character, VelJohnson became the emotional heart of the series. He fought relentlessly for episodes that tackled police ethics, street violence, and systemic prejudice, grounding the show even as the comedic plots grew absurd. Following Family Matters, VelJohnson became one of the most recognizable character actors on television. He starred in major films like Mike 2002, guest starred on smash hit series including Chuck, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and voiced Principal Winslow in the acclaimed Amazon Prime animated superhero series Invincible 2021 present, amassing a multi-million-dollar fortune and legendary status in American pop culture.
And I'm sure that you're aware that Steve derives from the Greek, Stephanos, i.e. crown.
Secret Facts 11. The real-life heartbreak of Michelle Thomas. Michelle Thomas was born into musical royalty. Her father, Dennis Thomas, was a founding member of the legendary funk soul group Kool and the Gang, and her mother, Findwar Thomas, was a stage actress and vocal coach. Thomas burst into the industry as Justine Phillips, the girlfriend of Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, 1988 to 1992, when she was introduced in Season 4 of Family Matters as Myra Monkhouse, a beautiful, intelligent girl who was completely, obsessively in love with Steve Urkel. She brought a vibrant comedic energy that turned her into a series regular. Off-screen, Thomas was engaged in a high-profile, loving relationship with actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, and the two were considered one of young black Hollywood's premier couples throughout the 1990s. However, during the filming of Season 9 in 1997, Thomas began experiencing severe abdominal pain on set. She was privately diagnosed with intra-abdominal desmoplastic small round cell tumor, a rare and aggressive form of stomach cancer. Despite her failing health, Thomas refused to quit, showing up to stage 5 with unmatched professionalism and delivering her comedic lines through agonizing pain. Immediately after Family Matters wrapped production in 1998, she was cast as Callie Rogers Stark on the CBS daytime soap opera The Young and the Restless 1998, earning an NAACP Image Award nomination. Tragically, on December 22, 1998, just months after the Family Matters finale aired, Michelle Thomas passed away in New York City at the young age of 30, with Malcolm Jamal Warner by her bedside. Her passing devastated the cast and crew, leaving an indelible mark on everyone who worked with her.
It's ruined. I know. Did I mention I'm sorry? If I didn't, I'm so sorry.
Secret Facts 10. The sci-fi pivot, the transformation chamber warfare. By 1993, Jaleel White was experiencing severe physical and mental exhaustion. Playing Steve Urkel required him to speak in an extreme, throat-damaging falsetto, register for 12 hours a day, walk with an unnatural, arched posture that caused chronic lower back pain, and endure intense physical stunts that frequently left him bruised. Furthermore, as an athletic, handsome teenager in real life, White resented that casting agents, media outlets, and the public saw him only as a squeaky-voiced caricature. During pre-production for Season 5, White approached executive producers Thomas L. Miller and Robert L. Boyd with a radical pitch. What if Steve Urkel invented a DNA-altering transformation chamber that removed his nerd genes, turning him into a suave, deep-voiced romantic lead named Stefan Urkel? The writing staff was initially skeptical, fearing that altering the core character would ruin the show's comedic formula. The episode, Dr. Urkel and Mr. Cool, aired in November 1993, and the reaction was explosive. Female audience members in the live studio bleachers literally screamed when White stepped out of the smoke in a tailored suit, speaking in his natural, velvety baritone. Stefan Urkel became a recurring phenomenon, allowing White to showcase his genuine leading man charisma. This duality proved White's immense range and helped him transition into dramatic producing. He went on to create Handstar in the UPN comedy series Grown Ups 1999 to 2000, host the hit sci-fi game show Total Blackout 2012 to 2013, and land key dramatic roles on CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Castle, and Bones, proving that the transformation chamber was the creative escape hatch that saved his career.
Thank you for letting me come to live with you. Well, we're glad to have you, aren't we, Carl?
We're just tickled to death.
Secret Facts 9. The Real Perfect Strangers spin-off genesis. Family Matters was not conceived out of thin air. It was born entirely from the massive creative machine of Miller Boyett Productions, the legendary powerhouse production duo behind Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Full House. In 1987, Miller Boyett created the hit comedy Perfect Strangers, following the eccentric immigrant Balki Bartokomous and his cousin Larry Appleton working at the fictional Chicago Chronicle newspaper. During Season 3, producers needed an actress to play the newspaper's no-nonsense elevator operator. Jo Marie Payton walked into the audition room and delivered such a sharp, commanding performance as Harriet Winslow that her one-line appearance was expanded into a recurring role across 32 episodes. Her character became a breakout favorite, providing a grounded reality that balanced Balki's high-energy antics. When ABC approached Miller Boyett in late 1988, demanding a companion series to anchor their newly branded Friday night TGIF programming block, the producers didn't bother developing a fresh concept from scratch. They simply took Harriet Winslow, created a husband named Carl, played by Reginald VelJohnson, and gave her a home life on the south side of Chicago. In season 4 of Perfect Strangers, Carl Winslow made a guest appearance as a security guard, effectively serving as the secret backdoor pilot for Family Matters. The spin-off strategy was a corporate triumph. Family Matters premiered in the fall of 1989 and immediately joined Full House, Perfect Strangers, and Step by Step to form the iconic TGIF Friday night programming empire, dominating family television ratings for nearly a decade and generating hundreds of millions of dollars in network advertising and global syndication royalties for Lorimar and Warner Brothers Television.
Are Tony's parents gonna be there?
Of course.
Beer?
No.
Girls?
No.
How late?
2.
Bingo! Book 'em, Dano!
Secret Facts 8. Darius McCrary's troubled path and legal clashes. Born in Walnut, California, Darius McCrary was the son of acclaimed jazz musician and singer Howard McCrary. Growing up, immersed in music and theater, McCrary was a natural performer who made his feature film debut at age 11 in the comedy drama Big Shots, 1987, directed by Robert Mandel. When he landed the role of the oldest Winslow son, Edward Eddie Winslow, on Family Matters, he was considered one of the most promising young actors of his generation, delivering strong comedic and dramatic performances as the cool high school jock trying to navigate his father's strict rules. However, as the series progressed and the scripts increasingly relegated Eddie to a supporting player behind Steve Urkel's antics, McCrary experienced intense creative frustration. Tensions flared on stage 5 between McCrary and production over dialogue and character growth, with McCrary pushing for more mature storylines, dealing with urban youth realities, sports pressure, and peer conflict. Following the series finale in 1998, McCrary's personal life was marred by severe legal controversies and tumultuous relationships. He faced high-profile domestic disputes and messy divorce proceedings involving former wives, including video vixen Karine Steffens and reality star Tammy Bronner, leading to intense tabloid coverage, restraining orders, and financial battles that severely damaged his public image. Despite his off-screen turmoil, McCrary maintained a prolific acting career. In 2007, director Michael Bay cast McCrary as the voice of the iconic Autobot Jazz in the monumental summer blockbuster Transformers 2007, which grossed over $709 million worldwide. McCrary went on to star as photographer Malcolm Winters on CBS's daytime Titan, The Young and the Restless, 2009 to 2011, starred in the indie hit Something Like a Business 2010, alongside Kevin Hart, and played key recurring roles in Starz' hit crime series Power 2018, and Urban One's Monogamy, 2018 to 2021, proving his enduring talent as a performer.
You and you'll really love him. And then you know what will happen?
We'll have sex?
No!
Secret Facts 7. Kelly Channing Williams. The off-screen activist and powerhouse Kelly Channing Williams was born in Washington, D.C., and began her career as a child fashion model at age 4. After her parents noticed her natural poise in front of cameras, she trained extensively at the Howard University Children's Theater, building elite stage credentials before moving to Los Angeles. When she auditioned for Family Matters in 1989 at age 13, she won the role of Laura Winslow due to her fierce, intelligent delivery and ability to stand toe-to-toe with adult actors. As the series evolved into the Steve Urkel phenomenon, Williams was placed in a uniquely challenging position. She was the constant object of Urkel's relentless, unrequited romantic obsession. Behind the scenes, Williams worked tirelessly with the show's writers to ensure Laura wasn't portrayed as a cruel, shallow girl who simply rejected the nerd. She insisted that Laura respect Steve as a friend while holding firm personal boundaries, turning their dynamic into a complex, decade-long emotional storyline that culminated in their eventual engagement in season 9. On stage 5, Williams was known as the calm mediator of the cast, often diffusing tensions between veteran actors and producers during stressful production weeks. After Family Matters wrapped its 215-episode run, Williams co-starred alongside Joan Cusack in the comedy series What About Joan 2000 to 2001, and guest starred on smash hits like Moesha and The Parkers, and starred in the holiday film Christmas in Carolina 2020. Williams pivoted her focus to philanthropy and education, creating the Kelly Williams programs in Washington, D.C., an initiative designed to provide underprivileged inner-city youth with free access to fine arts, television production training, and theatrical education, cementing her legacy as a community leader.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that log cabin is pitiful.
Hey, give me a break.
Secret Facts 6. Rosetta Lenoir, Broadway trailblazer and cast matriarch. Rosetta Lenoir, who portrayed Carl's hip, motorcycle-riding, street-smart mother Estelle, Mother Winslow, was a historic titan of American theater decades before stepping onto the Family Matters soundstage. Born in Hell's Kitchen, Manhattan, in 1911, Lenoir suffered from severe rickets as a child, requiring her godfather, the legendary tap dancer Bill Bojangles Robinson, to teach her how to dance as physical therapy. Lenoir made her Broadway debut in the groundbreaking 1939, all-black production of The Hot Mikado, starring Bojangles Robinson. She went on to star in landmark Broadway productions, including Anna Lucasta, 1944, A Streetcar Named Desire, and Lost in the Stars. In 1968, disgusted by the lack of opportunities for Black, Hispanic, and Asian artists in mainstream theater, Lenoir used her personal life savings to found the Amas Repertory Theater in New York City, the nation's first non-profit, multiracial theatrical organization, which originated the smash hit Broadway musical Bubbling Brown Sugar in 1976. When she joined Family Matters at age 78, Lenoir was the revered matriarch of the set. During the turbulent early seasons when adult cast members clashed over Jaleel White's dominance, it was Lenoir who held private meetings in her dressing room on Stage 5, commanding the cast to set their egos aside, support the young actor, and appreciate the rare blessing of a successful broadcast series. Her leadership single-handedly prevented the cast from fracturing during intense contract negotiations. In 1999, President Bill Clinton awarded Rosetta Lenoir the prestigious National Medal of Arts at the White House, recognizing her monumental contributions to American cultural diversity and theatrical history. Lenoir passed away in 2002 at the age of 90, leaving behind an immortal legacy as one of the most important pioneers in the history of the American performing arts.
Is there anything I can do for you while I'm down here waiting?
Let me know when Eddie gets back.
Secret Facts 5. The Real Chicago House and the Neighborhood Backlash. For 9 seasons and 215 episodes, the opening title sequence of Family Matters opened with a shot of a 2-story home featuring a charming front porch, framed by tree-lined Midwestern streets. The show established that the Winslow family lived in a working-class neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. In reality, the actual house used for all exterior establishing shots stood at 1516 West Wrightwood Avenue in Lincoln Park, Chicago, an affluent, rapidly gentrifying North Side neighborhood located miles away from the South Side setting. In 1989, Lorimar's second unit production crews paid the private homeowners a small fee to capture exterior photographs, porch angles, and street pans, which were then used throughout the entire run of the series, while the actual show was filmed thousands of miles away on Stage 5 at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank. However, as Family Matters became a global ratings juggernaut, the quiet residential street in Lincoln Park was swarmed by tourists, tour buses, and fans who constantly walked onto the private property to take photos on the porch, causing intense headaches for the homeowners and local neighbors. Tragically, in September 2017, despite an aggressive public petition from television preservationists and historic groups to designate the home as an official Chicago City landmark, the city approved demolition permits. The iconic 1890s house was completely torn down by developers to build a modern 3-unit luxury condominium building, destroying a physical piece of American television history.
This is not a Mickey Mouse course. Now, I expect you to try your best.
Okay, but I gotta warn you, my best is pretty lousy.
Secret Facts 4. Sean Harrison's Waldo Faldo Masterclass. Born in Los Angeles, Sean Harrison began working as a child actor in the early 1980s, landing guest spots on major series like Hill Street Blues and Different Strokes. In 1990, Harrison was hired for a one-line guest appearance in Season 2 of Family Matters, as a high school classmate named Waldo Geraldo Faldo. When Harrison delivered his line with a delayed, literal-minded deadpan cadence, the live studio audience erupted in laughter. Executive producers William Bickley and Michael Warren were so impressed by Harrison's comedic delivery that they expanded Waldo into Eddie Winslow's best friend and a full-time series regular starting in Season 3. Harrison crafted Waldo into one of the most quotable supporting characters of 1990s television, famous for his misunderstanding of simple idioms and his surprising talent as a culinary gourmet chef. On Stage 5, Harrison was one of the few actors who maintained close friendships with both Jaleel White and the older cast members, navigating the backstage tensions with complete professionalism. His comedic timing allowed him to steal scenes even during peak Urkel storylines. Following the conclusion of Family Matters, Harrison achieved major success on television. In 2002, creator Mara Brock Akil cast Harrison in the breakout role of Peaches the Flamboyant, scene-stealing hairstylist in the hit UPN CW comedy series Girlfriends 2002 to 2007, starring Tracy Ellis Ross. Harrison also provided the voice of Timberwolf in the Warner Brothers animated superhero series Legion of Superheroes 2006 to 2008, and made high-profile guest appearances on That's So Raven and The Miss Pat Show, building a celebrated 40-year career as one of television's most dependable character actors.
But there's only one thing brutes, bullies, and Neanderthals understand. And that's fist of fire!
Secret Facts 3. The physical toll and stunt hazards of playing Urkel. While audiences at home saw Steve Urkel as an effortless, rubber-bodied cartoon character come to life, the intense physical comedy routines required to produce the show took a severe, agonizing physical toll on teenage actor Jaleel White. Unlike most network family productions that utilized stunt doubles for dangerous physical comedy, White performed nearly 85% of his own slapstick stunts throughout the show's 9 seasons. This included being dropped from ceiling wires into breakaway living room furniture, crashing motorized jetpacks into drywall, tumbling backward down wooden stairs, and hanging from harnesses suspended 20 feet above the Stage 5 concrete soundstage floor. During the filming of Season 3, Episode 10, a stunt involving a motorized motorcycle prop malfunctioned, throwing White into a metal stage railing and resulting in severe bruises, a sprained wrist, and a minor concussion that temporarily halted production. Furthermore, the vocal requirements of the character were medically hazardous. To maintain Urkel's trademark high-pitched nasal screech, White was forced to constrict his vocal cords into an extreme falsetto register for hours at a time, resulting in chronic vocal node inflammation and permanent changes to his natural speaking voice. Studio doctors regularly treated White with vocal steam treatments and throat sprays between takes on Stage 5 to prevent permanent vocal damage, demonstrating the physical commitment required to keep the multi-million-dollar franchise on the air.
And what a great bod!
Secret Facts 2. The crossover universe, Full House, and Step by Step. Decades before the Marvel Cinematic Universe popularized the concept of interconnected superhero franchises, executive producers Thomas L. Miller and Robert L. Boyd constructed television's first multi-series shared universe right on the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank. In January 1991, ABC and Miller Boyd orchestrated a ratings stunt. Jaleel White appeared in character as Steve Urkel on Full House Season 4, Episode 16, visiting his cousin in San Francisco and giving a heartwarming speech to Stephanie Tan or Jodie Sweetin about wearing glasses. The crossover was an explosive ratings smash, pulling in over 28 million viewers. 1 week later, Urkel appeared on Family Matters, and later crossed over into Miller Boyd's other hit series, Step by Step 1991, where he dropped into the Lambert family backyard with a malfunctioning jetpack and taught John Stamos, Patrick Duffy, and Suzanne Summers the Urkel dance. Urkel even made an animated guest appearance on Mego 1997. Behind the scenes, this interconnected universe was made possible because Family Matters, Full House, and Step by Step were filmed on adjacent sound stages 5, 24, and 28 on the Warner Brothers lot. Jaleel White would literally film a morning scene on the Family Matters living room set, walk across the alleyway in full costume to stage 24 to shoot a guest scene with the Full House cast, and return to his own soundstage for afternoon rehearsals. The promotional synergy turned Friday Night, TGIF, into a multi-billion-dollar brand, making Miller Boyd Productions one of the most profitable independent production companies in television history.
Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna give you some gravity.
Secret Facts 1. The CBS bidding war and the cancellation collapse. In early 1997, as Family Matters was completing its 8th season on ABC, a corporate war erupted between the major television networks that sealed the fate of the historic franchise. ABC's new corporate parent company, the Walt Disney Company, was seeking to lower licensing fees paid to outside studios and transition TGIF toward younger, in-house Disney-produced programming. Seeing an opportunity to build their own Friday night family lineup, rival network CBS made an aggressive move. CBS offered Warner Bros. Television a staggering $40 million contract package to poach both Family Matters and Step by Step away from ABC for a 9th season. Warner Bros. Accepted the deal, and production moved forward on Stage 5 under the CBS banner. However, the transition was a disaster. CBS was traditionally viewed as an older skewing network, and millions of young viewers who had spent 8 years watching the Winslow family on ABC simply failed to switch their TV dials to CBS on Friday nights. Ratings plummeted by more than 35% in Season 9. Compounding the ratings collapse, the creative storylines had grown absurd, culminating in a 2-part finale where Steve Urkel is literally launched into orbit aboard the NASA space shuttle to repair a satellite. When Season 9 concluded in the summer of 1998, CBS quietly canceled the series without giving the cast a formal retrospective special or a proper series finale storyline. Despite the quiet conclusion, Family Matters stands as an absolute titan of American media history. Spanning 9 seasons and 215 episodes, it remains the third longest-running, non-animated series with a predominantly black cast in American television history, surpassed only by Tyler Perry's House of Pain and The Jeffersons. The series generated over $500 million in syndication, merchandising, and streaming revenue, broke racial barriers in primetime television, and cemented Jaleel White, Reginald VelJohnson, Jo Marie Payton, and the entire Winslow family as immortal icons of global pop culture. What began as a modest spin-off about a Chicago elevator operator and her police officer husband transformed into one of the most culturally dominant, commercially explosive, and unforgettable television phenomena of the 20th century. Behind the catchphrases, the polka tunes, and the high water pants lay a 10-year masterclass in creative survival, where visionary creators, brilliant child stars, and legendary character actors fought through corporate warfare, personal feuds, and physical challenges to build an enduring legacy. Now, we want to hear directly from you, our community of pop culture historians and classic television fans. Which of these 15 backstage secrets shocked you the most? Do you think Family Matters was better as a grounded family show in Seasons 1 and 2? Or did you love the wild sci-fi Urkel storylines from Season 5 onward? And what did you think about the sudden disappearance of Judy Winslow? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below right now. I personally read through the comments, and the most insightful, detailed breakdown will be pinned right to the very top of the section. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to Adekamawaje TV on YouTube and follow our official Facebook page right now to never miss our deep dives, lost media investigations, and behind-the-scenes histories of your favorite classic shows and legendary Hollywood moments. Thank you for watching. Keep those suspenders tight, and we will see you in the next.